NFL news, injury updates. Trevor Lawrence has shoulder surgery. Seahawks QB Geno Smith gets positive update. 3 more teams officially clinched playoff berths on Sunday, leaving just a handful of open spots left across the board for teams as the NFL regular season starts to wrap up. The Houston Texans, Pittsburgh Steelers, and Minnesota Vikings all earned postseason spots on Sunday, despite the Steelers actually losing to the Philadelphia Eagles and the Vikings not playing. The Vikings then rolled over the Bears in one of 2 games on Monday night to officially end Week 15. While the playoff picture is starting to come together, some teams, including both the Detroit Lions and Seattle Seahawks, may be in trouble. Jacksonville Jaguars quarterback Trevor Lawrence had shoulder surgery earlier this week. Head coach Doug Peterson announced on Wednesday. The surgery was to repair an injury to the AC joint in his non-throwing shoulder, and he's expected to be ready to go sometime in spring 2025. Lawrence was placed on injured reserve on December 4, but not due to his shoulder. In Week 13, he sustained a major concussion after taking a brutal hit from Houston Texans linebacker Azeez Al-Shaair. Lawrence left the game immediately and Al-Shaair was ejected and subsequently suspended 3 games for the hit. Lawrence was able to have surgery after he cleared concussion protocol on Sunday. Peterson said the surgery was successful and that Lawrence is on the road to recovery. After spending the last 3 days at a Houston area hospital, Miami Dolphins wide receiver Grant Dubose is expected to return home to South Florida on Wednesday, head coach Mike McDaniel said, on Sunday after a scary head injury. He remained down on the field for several minutes after being hit by Texans safety Kalen Bullock while trying to make a catch. Dubose was eventually taken off on a stretcher with an oxygen tube in his nose. He was taken to a local hospital immediately, and he's been there ever since. Dubose was placed on injured reserve on Tuesday too, which officially ended his season. He appeared in 3 games for the Dolphins and had 2 catches for 11 yards on the year. Seahawks head coach Mike Macdonald was optimistic Monday when discussing quarterback Geno Smith's knee injury from Sunday night. Smith left with the injury in the 3rd quarter and didn't return to the game that the Packers won 30-13. Geno Smith went down with what looks to be a lower leg injury after this play. He was able to walk off of the field with help from trainers. Smith didn't return to the game after he went down with the injury, and the Seahawks went with Sam Howell the rest of the way. Smith's status is key as the Seahawks dropped into a first-place tie with the Rams in an NFC West where the second-place team isn't projected to make the playoffs. The Detroit Lions lost a shootout to the Buffalo Bills on Sunday, which snapped an 11-game win streak for what could very easily be the best team the city has seen in decades. But it wasn't the loss that was the tough part for the Lions. The Lions lost both cornerbacks Carlton Davis-Ayayi and Khalil Dorsey to injuries in the game. Davis went down with a jaw injury that will have him out 6 weeks, and defensive lineman Aleem McNeil tore his ACL. Running back David Montgomery is out for the season, according to head coach Dan Campbell, with a torn MCL that will require surgery. Those injuries come after a string of injuries elsewhere that have already plagued their defense, including to defensive end Aiden Hutchinson, defensive tackle Mekhi Wingo, linebacker Malcolm Rodriguez, and linebacker Alex Anzalone, to name just a few. The team, whether Campbell wants to admit it's a factor or not, is incredibly beaten up, with the regular season winding down and the Lions vying for the top spot in the NFC. Injuries just keep coming.